Holmes examined the broken jar that belonged to Finley's tenant. I wonder what this substance is. I don't recognize the odour.
Formalin, Watson. This jar contained formalin. Interesting, don't you think? I've been waiting for something for days. Just the tiniest bit of news that would make sense of this whole matter. But there's nothing, neither from the press nor the police. Unless Inspector Aberline is holding on to some information without realizing its importance, which is quite possible. It is time for you to return to the police station in Whitechapel, Watson. And didn't you tell me that you had a matter to take care of it? Take advantage of it to learn more about this pill and its contents.
Ah, but Holmes, it's late, and spending another night in this district is hardly my idea of entertainment.
I know, Doctor, but we don't have any choice. Time is against us. Take your pistol in case you run into any troublesome characters.
Fine, as you wish, Holmes.
Alright, I guess I'm heading back. Let's go here first. I love how they won't let me move until the thing fades.
Good evening, Mr. Solomonovich.
Good evening, Doctor. What a pleasure to see you again.
Have you finished converting the harnesses?
Yes, just now. I got a little behind because of all the commotion.
Commotion?
Don't you start. 3 days ago, the very afternoon that you passed by, there was a chase throughout the neighborhood. Hundreds of people were chasing one man, claiming he was responsible for the murders these last few days. Schmonz! It was awful. I hope those maniacs didn't catch him. Better the police should.
Okay.
Tell me, did John Pizer turn himself in to the police?
Things unfolded as they should. Look in the newspaper, the Daily News from today.
Farewell, Isaac.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Okay. He got released. Okay. Okay. Well, there you go. Well, now I can get the cane back.
Good evening, Dr. Gibb.
Dr. what?
Did you keep the cane we spoke of last time?
I was going to sell it tomorrow, would you believe, having not heard word.
Do you have any formalin here?
No, definitely not. They have it in university hospitals to conserve anatomical specimens in jars. But in a little clinic like mine, we don't keep anything but bad memories.
Well, farewell, Doctor.
Goodbye, Dr. Watson.
Later,
I must
nerd.
retrieve Sickert's cane at all costs.
Yeah, I got this.
Yes, Doctor?
Here are your harnesses, Doctor.
They are top quality, I'd say. Definitely worth the price of this walking stick. Here, it's yours.
Well, farewell, Doctor.
Goodbye, Dr. Watson.
I don't know why I'm
Let's
doing
go to
this.
Miss Bella's.
Don't know why I'm doing this, but I am. So it was stolen. Part of me thought that, hey, the guy's not there. Part of me thought.
Good evening, ma'am. Your door was open. Isn't that a little dangerous?
Hello, Doctor. Don't worry if the looks of anyone who enters doesn't please me. Me and my pistol know how to convince them to leave.
Do you happen to know Annie Chapman, the poor woman who was killed 3 days ago?
Dark Annie? Like all the drifters in the area, I've seen her once or twice. With respect to the dead, Annie really was the bottom of the barrel.
What do you mean?
Well, in our profession, the pretty young ones go out when night has barely fallen and don't have a problem finding takers. But poor girls like Annie or Polly Nichols, who aren't as tender and are often sick, sometimes trudge around for a whole night in the cold and the rain before landing a client. And that doesn't help their appearances either. They don't have much choice about paying for a bed for a few hours, a glass of gin or a hot meal.
How terribly sad.
That's the price of survival in Whitechapel, my angel. One of my girls knew Annie for some time. They bought some jewellery on the black market, I think.
Jewellery? How could Annie Chapman have possibly afforded jewellery?
Luxuries for a woman are always relative to her condition, Doctor. As a matter of fact, it was real cheap junk. Annie got 3 assorted brass rings, I think. It's been said I have a memory for jewellery.
How is Lucy keeping?
She's doing well, Doctor. But believe me, it won't last. Rare are the girls who can build a future in our profession.
I think it started out kind of not great, but when you learn how to play it, it becomes a little more tolerable.
Very well, I shall let you get back to work, Ma.
See you soon, my love.
How come that didn't work? Or did I just miss it? Oh, we got your thing. We got your cane.
You're still there, Doctor?
I found the cane that was stolen from your
It
client.
didn't work.
Here it is.
Boom.
Doctor, you are a real saint, I can see that. I'll finally be able to present my bill to this damned painter. If by chance you see him, tell him that a little surprise awaits him here.
You told me you would give me some information on this Dr. Tumblety.
Agreed. He's a Canadian or an American. He parades from time to time through the neighbourhood in a 50-guinea suit and acts like a doctor. But for business, he isn't worth it. This damn Yankee hates women. The few times that he was approached by the girls, he spit on them, all the while hurling insults. It would seem that he was hunting for the bad boys. He's looking for trouble, that animal.
Does he frequent any pub in particular?
Aye, the Wasp's Nest on
Hey,
Burner Street, I
I
think.
know that
A
pub.
seedy spot even by our standards.
Very well, I shall let you get back to work, Ma.
See you soon, my love.
Have I slept? I think I did sleep, though, to be fair. I think I did get some sleep. Which is good. Sleep is good, right? Oh, it's right there. Should we talk to the... Do we need to talk to the police? Can't remember. You been having trouble sleeping? That sucks.
Good evening.
I
I
guess
hope
so.
I'm not disturbing you.
Not at all, Doctor. This man, Mr. Richardson, is a witness to the horrid affair at 29 Hanbury Street, the murder of Annie Chapman. We are discussing the relevance of his testimony.
I don't think Regulus has any problem sleeping.
You're probably not in a position to discuss it with me, but I would like to know more about what you call the relevance of this young man's testimony.
Oh, there's no secrecy. It's simply that the testimony given by Mr. Richardson doesn't match the time of death given by the coroner, Dr. Phillips.
What was the time of death, according to him?
Before 4:30 in the morning.
My conclusions were the same. Were there any other conflicting testimonies?
Well, 2 other witnesses summoned at the preliminary inquest gave testimony, but in these cases too, the times don't match.
Do you remember what it was they said?
I didn't question them myself. A colleague of mine took down their statements on paper, but on deciding they were of little use, he tore them up and threw them in the bin. There's no point in being bogged down with useless paperwork.
I will take my leave, Humphreys.
Goodbye, Doctor.
That's dumb.
May I introduce myself? I'm Dr. Watson. I am...
You wouldn't be the chap what writes the detective stories in that there paper?
Well, yes, indeed, my stories have been published in the Strand.
Go blimey, wanna tell me old mum?
It would seem your testimony is the subject of some debate. Could you tell me what it was about?
They'll be telling you I'm a bit befuddled about the times that I told them. But it can't be so. I knows what I sees and what I don't sees that morning.
What did you see, or what didn't you see? And at what time, would you say?
I tell you this for nothing. It's me old mum who lives at the house where the body was found out back in the garden. She has her shop at the bottom to the right of the stairs. Her door was broken down not too far back, 'cause it's a real zoo it is. Right, the morning it happened, I head that way to see if me old mum has finally had the place broken into. It was 4:45 when I got there. That I'll swear on me dear old mum's life. I had a look round to see if the cellar had been taken. No. I had a little sit down on the stairs by the courtyard, 'cause me shoes were causing me no end of pain, and I had a cut and all. I didn't seize a single thing below the steps, Doctor, not one single thing. If there was some bird all covered in blood, 'tain't no how I could have missed that, even if it were night time. Right, 5 minutes after getting to number 29, I had to clip off. And now they tells me that either I can't tell time no more, or I was fixing me loafer next to a stiff that was still steaming. All right then. Evening, gents.
Okay.
Yes, Doctor?
So, how far along are the investigations into these two recent murders?
Everyone around here believes both crimes were committed by the same man. But as for the Hanbury Street and Bucks Row crimes, nobody has heard or seen a thing.
By the way, have you heard of a Dr. Tumblety?
No. Is it important?
Yes. Well, no, maybe. Actually, I don't know. I have heard about this man, his frequent nocturnal outings and bizarre behaviour.
What does this chap look like, Doctor? And where can we find him?
The last I heard was that he was staying at Finley's place, the man who was looking for me a few days ago.
It would greatly assist us if you could ask Finley what your strange associate looks like. We could then see if the description matches any witness accounts.
I will take my leave, Humphreys.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Okay, I guess I'll do your job for you, sure.
There is a strong smell of gas. It seems to be coming from the abandoned building. Good evening, Finley. How are you?
Oh, good evening, Doctor. So. And you?
It smells of gas here.
You might say, Doctor. Without wanting to speak ill of the force, I have to wonder if the police are up to something.
What do you mean?
Well, I was outside yesterday evening when the light went out at my place, and a gas smell came from the abandoned building across from my place. And a minute later, the police arrived and was snooping all around like it was them who hid the gas before arriving.
Have things sorted themselves out with your strange tenant?
Don't talk about it, Doctor. That man is truly bizarre. He goes to the most sordid locations once night falls. 3 days ago, my wife told me she saw him come in with blood-stained clothes and a fearsome look.
Interesting. What does he look like, and how old is he?
Oh, he's my age, give or take, so the other side of 50. He's always dressed in a striking manner, with an American hat. He's big, close to 5'11", I'd say. He has a strange voice, not just his accent, see, his voice.
Okay.
Very well. Goodbye for now, Finley.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Now then, let's go to the police station.
Oh, good. We get to go back to the police station. Whoa. Man, oh man. We're having some fun today.
Yes, Doctor.
Tumblety is a man around 5'11", about 55 years old, extravagantly dressed and with a rather distinctive voice. He boards at Finley's. You should know where that is, as the police were there only yesterday. Their arrival coincided with a strange gas leak.
Ah, yes, I know where you mean. Indeed, there was an odd affair with the gas. It was rather unsettling. We were searching for a well-known scoundrel who was ratted out by Squibby, the chap we followed and saved from the pack a few days ago. This thug, no pity Bluto, must have been in the abandoned building in question. But there was no sign of him when we arrived. Furthermore, an inspector said that, given the smell, the thingamabob that supplies gas to the building was probably damaged. So we took no risks and were called away somewhere else.
I don't know.
I will take my leave, Humphreys.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Alright, now we need to go to the pub.
The next day.
The Wasp's Nest. This pub looks even more disreputable than the Golden Lion in Baker Street.
I don't know, looks like a pub to me.
Greetings, my good man. Could I have a pint?
Here, Gov.
I've been told that Dr. Tumblety might be found around here. Is that so?
I don't do a roll call of all the drunkards here. I've got my hands full just making sure I get their money.
Don't people pay when they order?
Nah, look at that little scribbler there. Completely dead drunk. Tonight's tally is about as long as his arm. If he skips out, I'll be in for a guinea almost.
Goodbye, my friend.
Oi, that's it.
Can I drink my drink? I ordered a pint, can I not drink it? Oh man.
Good evening. Would you happen to have seen a Dr. Tumblety? A man of a certain age dressed in a flamboyant manner.
If you're looking for some company, Gov, you've come to the wrong place. Me? I'm just here to pour. I don't care who you is, I knows nothing, and I don't care neither.
Good evening, sir.
It'll be the coup of my career, Governor said. Ha! You'll make loads of doss of the paper, he said.
You're a journalist?
That's so. Tom Bulling at your service. The Whitechapel ferret, the wizard with the scoop.
You don't appear to be in a state to write anything, my friend.
You're mistaken. Whiskey passes through the blood and turns into ink. Simple. You see, mugs and inkwells are all the same.
Don't you think you should settle your tab and go home?
My red ink? Where's my red ink? I won't even pay half a halfpenny if they don't return my red ink. It's my blood you hear.
Very well, I'll be on my way.
What? Hey, it's that
Good
guy.
evening, sir.
Well, I know you. Why? We met at Miss Pullman's the other day. So you've come to slum it in Whitechapel, eh?
Do you know Dr. Tumblety? A Canadian or American chap. Quite an extravagant dresser. Frequents this pub now and then.
Are you intimate?
No. What do you mean by that?
Oh, nothing. Nothing at all. I just wanted to prove my discretion concerning this man, in so much and so far as I know him. You wouldn't like it if one day the tables were turned and everyone was talking about why you were in the borough. Isn't that so?
As it happens, I saw Miss Pullman recently. She told me that she couldn't wait to see you again. She said something about a surprise that is waiting for you at her establishment.
Why, that is some of the best news I've heard, my friend. As thanks, I would like to let you in on a secret. The man that you were talking about, and whom I happen to know by sight, passed by and went through that little door that you see over there. Another man let him in. They weren't together for more than a few minutes, to be sure, eh?
Was the surprise that we have his cane? I think that might be the surprise.
Well, I will continue my search.
Ah, love.
But what is this person trying to imply? This matter is beyond me.
Hey, you can't go in there. It's private. Got it?
This is the sink where the barmaid puts the glasses to soak. Look, red ink. What's that doing here? The bottle is closed. There must still be some ink inside, and it looks like a glass. The barmaid must have put ink into the sink by mistake.
Right. Do I get in your way? Me?
If you'll excuse me, sir.
I don't know. That was a half yoink.
You're the best. The boss told me. My red ink. Well, where's she be?
Oh,
Very well, I'll be on my way.
I think I gotta give it to him.
You're the best.
I found your red ink, my friend. You should settle up and head home.
Thank you, my friend, thank you. The spring-heeled phantom will be revived.
And he's gone. And he's gone too.
Gav?
Here you go. It's on the journalist, my friend.
I owe you one. The next one is on me. What'll it be?
Nothing, thanks. But I may need your help. What's behind that locked door over there? Can I go in?
Not likely. And let me be unless you're wanting a drink. Got it?
Listen, my friend. I would like you to let me in the door over there.
You're a bobby. A peeler?
Absolutely not, my friend. I am a doctor.
Fine. I owe you this at least. There's a bloke behind that door there. No pity Bluto. Let's just say he wants to lay low for a moment. So I don't think he'll be opening the door just now. Unless... Tell him you have word from Squibby. That'll open the door. But who can say what'll happen when the door closes?
Goodbye, my friend.
Oi! That's it!
Why does he say that? Oi, that's it. Alright. This could go poorly. Oh, I'm gonna save. I mean, I don't think it will go poorly, but... it'll go how the game
Let me
wants it to
in.
go.
I have news from Squibby. But stay calm.
And who are you? Where's Squibby? He's out.
To be honest, I don't actually know this Squibby chap. I was actually wondering if you knew Dr. Tumblety, a Canadian or American fellow. He came in...
Sure we know him.
Excellent. Can you...
You know about gas?
I'm afraid not. I am a doctor.
Then I ain't interested. You can be leaving now. But if I find out who snitched to the peelers, I'll find you. Got it?
But I can pay you for...
Keep your coins for the paupers, or one of the gas boys who ain't afraid of nothing and knows how to hold his tongue. You bring him to me, I'll meet with you.
Another fetch quest. Woo. What do I need to do now? You know, I will say they don't make it very clear exactly what I'm supposed to do.
Gav?
Goodbye, my friend.
Oi, that's it.
Oi, what'll it be to drink?
Oh, I guess I'm leaving. I don't know what I have to do. Whoops. Keep your coins and one of the gas boys who ain't afraid of nothing and knows how to hold his tongue. You bring him to me, I'll meet with you. Who am I bringing? Oh, the find out who snitched to the peelers? Oh. Supposed to find out who snitched to the peelers. How the hell am I supposed to figure that out? Like, seriously, how am I supposed to figure that out? And what's a peeler?
Yes, Doctor. I will take my leave, Humphreys.
Goodbye, Doctor.
They, like, peel potatoes? I mean, I'll just go around and talk to people, I guess.
Yes, Doctor?
Nope.
Well, farewell, Doctor.
Goodbye, Dr. Watson.
I can go in here too, alright.
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Nope.
Farewell, Isaac.
Goodbye,
Yeah,
Doctor.
Goon. Brr. I mean, all I can really do is talk to people.
You're still there, Doctor?
Very well. I shall let you get back to work, Ma.
See you soon, my love.
I was talking to a cobbler. He was cobbling. He was doing some cobbling. Nobody here.
Anything else, Doctor?
Nope.
Very well. Goodbye for now, Finley.
I think
Goodbye,
I might be
Doctor.
done. Am I done? Am I done here? I've talked to everybody. Unless there's someplace else I'm supposed to go. This game isn't great. I will say that. This game is not great.
I could return to Baker Street, but I am still missing some information. And that would... I have no
Okay, well, apparently I still have to be here. I've gone everywhere. So it must be a new place. Yeah, I do too. I just thought I'd try it, because I didn't know what else to do. Just gonna walk around, I guess. Man, I am a loud walker, I must say.
I have no reason to go that way.
Where am I?
I have no reason to go that way.
There's the cobbler right there. Means the clinic is right around here somewhere. Oh, it's right there. I don't know where to go. This is where the murder happened.
I have no reason to go
There's
that
an
way.
invisible wall there. Okay. I am a very loud walker.
Tell me, is it...
I'm on duty, sir.
Yeah, well, I'm on duty also.
I have no reason to go that way.
Well,
Tell me, is it...
Out of the way, I don't like the look of you.
I don't like to look at you either, dude.
Whitechapel Street?
Well, I don't know where to go. It's the thing, this game is very not clear about this kind of stuff. Also, it's really freaking dark. I don't think this is I didn't think this was a dead end. Oh, it's not. Okay. You were playing Oblivion? Mass Effect? Me too. I played both of those. I wasn't playing this.
I don't get a pension no more, and the landlord wants to toss me out.
Good for you.
No, it would be better not to insist.
Well, what do we need to do? The only thing he said was where is it even? Well, now I don't even see it anymore. Oh, here it is. Keep your coins. If I find out who snitched on the peelers, I'll find you. Got it? But I can pay you. Keep your coin. You bring him to me, I'll meet with you. That's what we have to do. That's what we have to do. You're too broke for games. That's what we have to do, which is not really... I don't even know what that means. So where are we supposed to do? How I talked to everybody I knew I could talk to. So what exactly do I need to do? Apparently, I don't even understand what he's asking for. I thought he wanted me to find out who snitched to the police, but really he just wants somebody... He just wants somebody who's, quote, brave and discreet. Okay. Apparently, this is the hint system that didn't... They're using slang that I just don't know. Apparently. Okay. Maybe not.
Anything else, Doc?
Very well. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Okay, this is the one that steered us wrong last time, so I think we're just not... Oh, wait. Already done that. Okay, this doesn't work. He is a private detective. He's a consulting detective, in fact.
Yes, Doctor.
Tumblety is a man around 5'11", about 55 years old, extravagantly dressed and with a rather distinctive voice. He boards at Finley's. You should know where that is, as the police were there only yesterday. Their arrival coincided with a strange gas leak.
Ah, yes, I know where you mean. Indeed, there was an odd affair with the gas. It was rather unsettling. We were searching for a well-known scoundrel who was ratted out by Squibby, the chap we followed and saved from the pack a few days ago. This thug, no pity Bluto, must have been in the abandoned building in question. But there was no sign of him when we arrived. Furthermore, an inspector said that, given the smell, the thingamabob that supplies gas to the building was probably damaged. So we took no risks and were called away somewhere else.
Okay, what does that get me?
Tumblety is a man...
I didn't mean to click that again.
I will take my leave, Humphreys.
Goodbye, Doctor.
What does this do for me? This is supposed to be basically the end of it. I think I might know what I'm supposed to do. I think I'm supposed to show this to the doctor. This game's a freaking mess, I'm telling ya.
Yes, Doctor?
Pills.
Could you tell me what type of pill this is?
Yes, we have those here. It's not really a medication. We give them to patients with chronic respiratory conditions like tuberculosis.
Did you have a patient by the name of Annie Chapman, the woman killed 3 days ago?
Indeed. She came in the morning of her death. Poor woman.
Did you give her these pills?
Yes, now that I think of it. She actually came in twice. The first time I gave her an almost empty container without making her pay. She came back during the day and said she dropped the container and stepped on the pills. She wanted to know if I could give her more again without paying. I refused. After she left, a patient who was there told me that he lives at the same place and confided that she had been lying. He saw the pills fall in the tenement's communal kitchen, but the woman immediately wrapped them up in a piece of paper.
Where did this paper come from?
According to this man, she'd found it near the chimney in the kitchen.
Anyone could have thrown that paper there. That envelope can't have anything to do with the murder.
Pardon, Doctor?
Nothing. I was just talking to myself. Well, farewell, Doctor.
Goodbye, Dr. Watson.
Okay. I don't have anything in my inventory anymore.
I could return to Baker Street.
Okay. Still no. We've already done that. think it's very clear. I think the biggest problem with this game is it's not clear what we're supposed to do. Like,
This police station is like a laundry. What a scandal.
also, Hey Kitty Trouble Games and Dunk Donuts. And Chelsea. Okay. So apparently there was something in the trash. Because he threw it away. Those are the reports. Okay.
An old report on arrests that took place a few years earlier. Here are the ripped statements. I can piece them together again.
Oh, lovely. We get to do a puzzle. I was like, man, I was hoping we get to do a puzzle in this, and look at this. We get to do one. Wow, we get to piece stuff together. I mean, I am thrilled. Absolutely thrilled that we get to do this. The heck? Maybe some of these aren't relevant. I don't know. I think there might be some extra pieces, or maybe we're piecing together two different things. I think we might be piecing together two different things. Oh, I see. I see now. We are piecing together two different things. Look, I'm a genius.
There, all done. Holmes couldn't have done better himself.
No, not really. The witness left her domicile at 32 Church Street at approximately 5 a.m. to get to Spitalfields Market. She was passing down Hanbury Street, and at about 5:30 a.m., the witness was certain. Was certain of the time, as she just declared that she heard the clock at the Black Eagle Brewery on Brick Lake strike at the half hour just before she entered the street. In front of 29 Hanbury Street, she saw a man and a woman talking. It should be noted that the witness identified the body of Annie Chapman at the morgue as being the aforementioned woman. This identification was solicited by our services. The man seen with the victim is described by the witness as follows: at least 40, a little taller than the woman with whom he was discussing approximately 5 feet to 3 inches. Dark brown deerstalker hat, dark coat, a doubt on this point. General appearance of the working class, particular markings, dark hair and mustache, dark face, looks like a foreigner. The witness only saw the man from behind, wouldn't be able to recognize or identify him. Term foreigner is often associated with persons of Jewish origin. Okay. We have this one. Alright. Got another one. Witness resides at 27 Hanbury Street, the building adjoining number 29. The same street, the two respective backyards separated by a wooden fence, tall and thin. The morning of the murder, the witness got up at 5:15, went to the yard where the latrine was. It was then 5:20 on going back into the house. The witness heard voices from behind the fence coming from number 29. The only word that he understood was no. He went into the back building again, but returned to the yard approximately 4 minutes later, wherein he heard a noise as if something fell against the fence. He then departed for work. When he paused and passed in front of the Spitalfields Church, it was approximately 5:32 a.m.
Well, it would seem that I have all the information I need for my investigation. Anyway, this fellow Bluto at the Wasp's Nest is rather shady and doesn't look like he'll want to cooperate. I'd be better off returning to Baker Street. Holmes will certainly know what to do. And besides, I am worn out.
Apparently that's all we were supposed to do. Okay.
Let's go back to Baker Street. Home, sweet home.
Man, I was trying to follow leads, and...
There we are, Holmes. I've told you in great detail everything that happened last night.
Excellent work, Watson. We shall now be prepared to answer a few questions about the horrible murder in Hanbury Street.
Do you think we are now in a position to find out the identity of the murderer of these 2 women?
No, I don't think so. It's outside of our scope and not our responsibility. As much as you've done for Leather Apron and the affair with the pills, our mission is to help the police by ensuring that they don't get caught up following false leads and to point them in the right direction. Let us start from what we know with some certitude. As you have just said, it is almost certain that the same person killed the Bucks Row and Hanbury Street victims. The reason to assume as much are numerous, and I shan't elaborate here. What do these 2 victims have in common?
It's true these 2 women were in the same profession, but...
Indeed, Watson. These 2 women were both prostitutes. That is of vital importance, Watson.
My memory from your examination of the scene is rather hazy. Didn't you say something about the killer's frame of mind?
I was talking about the victim's possessions that were placed on the ground and the rings missing from Annie Chapman's fingers. This killer is a cunning predator, comes from a rather humble background, and shows steely self-control in carrying out the murders.
Something is puzzling me, Holmes. Richardson's testimony contradicts the time of death given by Dr. Phillips, which also matches my own, 4:30 a.m.
And yes, we shall confirm that, Watson, and attempt to determine the precise time of death. In order to do that, we will need to place everyone involved on a timeline. Only after that will we be able to place the knife symbolizing our killer. Let's look at our timeline, Watson.
What's happening? Select from the inventory the dialogue of the 2 documents which will permit you to determine the time of death. Then place the objects or the characters representing these testimonies on the same timeline. Listen carefully to Sherlock Holmes' instructions, which will ask you to modify them. So all the icons are properly... Oh my god. Oh, I have to pick 3 things. I guess. I don't know. Oh, I see. Oh, this is so bad. Oh. I still don't know exactly what I'm doing. So we'll have one, apparently, that... No idea. We have 2 dialogues that need to be used. Okay, that... I think... Select from the inventory the dialogue and 2 documents will permit you to determine the time of death. Then place the objects on the characters representing these testimonies on the timeline. Listen carefully to Sherlock Holmes' instructions, which might ask you to modify them once all the icons are properly placed. Okay. I mean, I'm guessing it's somehow Finley. But I'm not sure. Maybe it's not Finley. Oh wait, I have more of Finley. I have no idea. No, stop it. No. The game is the mouse is like scrolling up my other windows. And I don't like it. Oh, wait. It's me old mum who lives at the house where the body was found out back in the garden. She's at her shop at the bottom of the stairs. Her door was broken down. Not too far back because it's a real zoo. Right, the morning headed that way and sees old mom had her place broken into. It was 4:45 when I got there. I'll swear on my dear moms I had to look around and say, okay, this is it.
Now, for the most important part, the testimony of Miss Long. She claims to have seen a woman speaking to a man near 29 Hanbury Street sometime around... What time, Watson?
Declares the half hour just before she entered the street. $5:30.
Let us assume, therefore, that Miss Long's testimony is, as is most certainly the case, true. She places her meeting with the victim at around 5:30, claiming to have heard a clock chime on the half hour at the moment when she enters the street.
I don't know if I'd say I'm enjoying this game.
Now, let's put the Richardsons' arrival and departure times on the timeline.
Quarter to 5. Five minutes. A quarter till 5 or a quarter after? What did he say? A quarter to 5. Oh, that is correct. Okay. He leaves. Cut leather. After 5 minutes after, so he left 5 minutes after.
Now, let's put the Richardsons' arrival and departure times on the timeline.
Alright. Okay.
Our next witness is Albert Kadosh.
He says, witness got up at 5:15. When he got back into the house. So 5:15, 5:20, alright.
Let's place this symbol that represents Kadosh on the timeline. Albert Kadosh goes down into his garden at approximately 5:20, and on re-entering his home, hears voices in number 29's garden.
This would be at 5:32.
Let's place this symbol that represents Kadosh on the timeline.
No, apparently not. On going back into the house, the witness heard voices from behind the fence. The only word, but returned to the yard approximately 4 minutes later. 4 minutes. 4 minutes.
Kadosh goes back down into his garden approximately 4 minutes after having left it, and hears the sound of an impact against the wooden fence. Let's put the time of death as assessed by Dr. Phillips on the timeline. The assessment of the time of the murder given by Dr. Phillips and yourself, Watson, 4:30 a.m. Despite the great respect I have for Dr. Phillips and the value I place on our friendship, my deepest conviction is that both of you are mistaken, and that Richardson is in the right, and that these two testimonies put down in writing have real worth.
But how? Explain yourself, Holmes.
Remember how you assessed the time of death? You touched the fingers and body of the victim, but it was remarkably cold for this time of year. In addition, the corpse had been drained of bodily fluids. Its heat retention was therefore no longer the same as that of an intact corpse.
Egad! You're right, Holmes.
Oh, I've had some time to research, Watson.
Egad!
Given these facts, my first diagnosis may have been off by half an hour, perhaps even an hour.
Thus, we can confirm Richardson's statement and establish that the murder was committed after 4:50 a.m. and not before 4:30 a.m.
Egad!
Let's place this symbol that represents
Pretty sure that was 32, wasn't it?
Kadosh leaves the garden, enters his house, then leaves for work, seeing the clock on the Spitalfields church showing 5:32.
When did we arrive? Doesn't say when we arrived.
We left the station at 6 o'clock, and it took us 20 minutes to arrive at Hanbury Street.
Okay, well, we kind of just said when.
Our arrival at the scene occurred at around 6:20. Given the distance separating the two locations, we can deduce that the corpse wasn't discovered after 6 o'clock, and therefore that the murder must have been committed before. Excellent, Watson. All our people are now in place.
Yes, but Holmes, Miss Long claims to have seen the victim at around 5:30. But according to Kadosh, someone, most certainly the victim and her murderer, was already in the garden at 5:30.
Excellent observation, Watson. It must be noted, however, that these two witnesses, Long and Kadosh, saw the time shown on the clocks in the area, which are often inaccurate and went by their empirical and, in this case, erroneous estimate of how much time had passed. Thus, neither of these two times can be considered reliable.
Do you mean to say that these two testimonies might match?
Indeed. Let's put Miss Long's meeting with the victim at 2 minutes before 5:30. Let's add Miss Long's meeting with the victim at 2 minutes before 5:30 a.m. Mr. Kadosh claims to have passed by the Spitalfields Church at 5:32, which, given the distance from 27 Hanbury Street, would mean he was still at home at 5:31. Let's therefore put the end of his testimony at 5:31. Miss Long heard the man say to the victim, "Will you?" to which the victim responded, "Yes," which would suggest that an agreement was reached and that the transaction was imminent. They then proceeded to enter the garden, which puts the voices heard by Kadosh at 5:29. We had thought that Kadosh had left 27 Hanbury Street at 5:31 after having heard an impact against the fence. Thus, 2 minutes passed between the moment when Kadosh entered the house after having been in the garden the first time and the moment when he returns to go out again and leave for work. How long did he estimate this interval to be? 3 to 4 minutes. In light of all this, Watson, we can finally establish the time of Chapman's murder. Now, place the knife at the exact time. Now then, taking into account that the local clock isn't exact and that a young man was off by a minute or two in his estimations of his comings and goings, we can confirm Miss Long's testimony and place the time of the crime at approximately 5:30.
But in that case, Holmes, the man that Miss Long saw is none other than...
That's right, Watson. It was the Whitechapel killer.
To think that Miss Long and Kadosh were only a few feet away from him.
Indeed, Watson. Had Miss Long passed just a little closer to the victim and her assassin, or had the young Kadosh popped his head over the fence out of curiosity, the killer would most certainly already be behind bars.
That's some stroke of luck he had there.
I couldn't agree more, Watson. But his luck didn't end there, given the mutilations inflicted upon this poor woman. What must be considered above all is the killer's obvious wish to remove one and only one specific organ. His surgery pinpointed the exact spot, avoiding superfluous incisions. This suggests the man possesses at least a minimal anatomical knowledge.
Are you suggesting a doctor or a butcher?
Perhaps, but the possibilities are still too broad to conclude with any certainty. Now for the motive. Despite my almost complete lack of practical experience on the subject, I have a rather precise idea of the usefulness of a uterus and a vagina. Nonetheless, once they are separated from their usual envelope, I am more circumspect as to the uses one can make of them. What do you think, Watson? We need a board, Watson.
What? I'm confused.
There is nothing more to do here.
You need a board. What would have been the motive for a crime? Money?
Black magic?
Watson, this line of investigation is far too vague. We don't have a single clue in support of such a motive. We can eliminate this hypothesis.
So that would be a no.
Perhaps it was intended as a study specimen.
I have little faith in that theory. Hardly anything was taken from the Bucks Row victim.
A desire for some sort of morbid trophy.
I'd be inclined to dismiss this motive. If this were the case, why would nothing have been removed from the Bucks Row victim?
Money, quite simply.
Even if this motive seems incongruous, we're in no position to deny or affirm it until we know whether a market for human organs exists.
We're gonna say yes to that one.
Holmes, what if it was cannibalism?
Even if the idea is unbearable, we can't ignore it as a possibility. Elementary. What emerges from these possible motives for having removed the uterus from the second victim is that they implied that the killer could have carried out the same thing on the Bucks Row victim, yet didn't. This brings us to a terrible conclusion. Our killer has evolved in the space of only a few days, and if that's the case, had he already struck before the first murder to which we attribute him? And if the killer strikes again, what atrocity awaits his next victim?
We have to stop him, Holmes.
We shall do our best. This recent business of jars filled with formalin and of the American doctor might be a lead. Watson, inquire among medical circles to ascertain if there is a black market for human organs. The chances are slim, but this must be pursued.
Very well. What about you, Holmes?
I will send word to Inspector Aberline regarding our recent conclusions. I should also like to become a gas man and pay a visit to Bluto at the Wasp's Nest.
Understood, Holmes. I think one of my old university colleagues who works at the London hospital will be able to help me.
What does that
I shall
even
write
mean?
him a note at once. He should be able to see me during the day. Afterwards, shall we meet here?
Like,
Yes, Watson. See you
just
later,
go eat
and
some
good luck.
Taco Bell.